Welcome to the Word of Encouragement here on this Monday. Glad you could be with us. The Apostle Paul had a tremendous perspective on every opportunity that God gave him. And in writing the book of 1 Corinthians, the Spirit of God had him explain the opportunity that he had there in Ephesus. He was writing from Ephesus, and we read in verse 8 of chapter 16, "But I will tarry at Ephesus until Pentecost, for a great door and effectual is opened unto me, and there are many adversaries." There's a lot you can gain from that simple verse. He said, I'm staying in Ephesus, and God is opening a great door for us. It is very major, it's large, and it's being enabled by the effectual grace of God. And we are seeing in Ephesus a substantial work being done that is going to affect that entire area. It doesn't say all of that, but we find from other writings how strategic the church at Ephesus was. In fact, he had Timothy come to Ephesus, and we have the books of 1st and 2nd Timothy written while Timothy was there pastoring in Ephesus. And then following up on that was the Apostle John himself. And so this church became a great sending church to Asia Minor and was a very key part, just like Jerusalem church was, to the spread of the gospel. And so he said, I'm staying here. He didn't always stay that long, but he said, I'm staying here because there is a very important opportunity. And it's almost like it's an aside, and there are many adversaries. Think about how many times we are tempted to stop what we're doing because we get opposition, because things aren't going like we want them to go. We're frustrated. Or we can just have direct pushback and persecution. Well, if the early Christians had stopped because the situation around them had gotten negative, we wouldn't be here today. But in the midst of persecution from Jerusalem, those early days with John and Peter and others, James was martyred, Stephen was martyred. I mean, they went through it. From those early days all the way through church history, we have the church marching forward by the power of God, and we have it in the face of the lion, the persecution. In fact, many times that opposition and the problems that Christians that they faced were the very catalyst to see God work. It ignited that entire region for God because the Christians became very serious about trusting the Lord. And I think we need to look at our American situation here and say, there's a great door right now. People are open. They're troubled. They're needy. It's effectual. God's going to work. Yes, there are adversaries. That's what's part and parcel with the whole situation. But there's an open door. And I'm going to stay at it. I'm not going to go hide. I'm not going to quit. I am going to be used of God. And I'm going to believe that these can be the greatest days in the history of our local churches here in America. God wants to do a great work. And so I want to encourage you, whatever it is, maybe it's the ministry you're in, some situation you're in, maybe a discipleship, maybe an opportunity on the job. Don't quit. Keep on going, even though there are problems, because God's ready to work.